Yo, what's up, everyone? Goblin here. If you have any cards that you're looking to sell, whether it's bulk or any expensive cards, and don't know where to start, I'm going to show you how to start your TCG seller shop and give you some tips and tricks on how to get started and how to level up fast. Become a verified level 4 seller. Get started. So today we'll be going over how to start selling cards on Tcgplayer. Tcgplayer is the main hub for all card games in which you can buy and sell cards. Looking at my account, I'm a level 4 seller, which is the max level of a seller you could be on Tcgplayer, which allows me to have an unlimited inventory and which allows me to have a card at any price that I'd want. I have nearly 1,000 sales and I've been selling for under 2 years, and I've reached max level selling, gold star verified very quickly. So let's show you how different seller levels actually work. So going into this, we start off obviously with the level 1 seller, and then as you ship more orders and provide amazing customer service, you'll move up through levels, with the top achievable being level 4. So as a level 1, if you're just starting out while watching this video, you are going to have up to 100 total items that can be available for sale at any time. So like, for example, if you list a quantity of 4 for a single product, then you have to use up 4 of your available 100 items. So that was important because when I started out, I had a bunch of bulk that I wanted to sell, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna put all this bulk out on Tcgplayer and get rid of all of it. But it wasn't that easy because as I just started listing a bunch of 3-cent cards, I was like, oh, I quickly just reached my cap. So my advice for you as a level 1 seller, this is probably my first tip of advice, is to put your cards that will sell fast so that you can level up fast. If you put a bunch of like cheap cards that might not move as quickly, you're going to probably be stuck at a level 1 seller and be competing with other people who are also trying to sell those cheap cards. So try to list cards that will sell quickly and to not overfill your 100 total items limit. So up to $1,000 of items can be listed at any one time, and the maximum price for any one item cannot exceed $500. So you can't have your total inventory cannot exceed over $1,000, and a single item cannot be priced over $500. So if we're selling cards in Tcgplayer as a level 1 seller, we want to probably be selling cards that are in the double digits, maybe not too many triple digit cards, because then you're going to quickly use up your cost value inventory. And the maximum daily inventory quantity entry limit is 100 items for level 1 seller. So that means, let's say you put 100 out on one day and then all 100 of it sells, then you're not gonna be able to put it out on the same day. So in order to move to a level 2 seller, you have to have at least 2 orders that have reached the expected delivery date. So essentially that just means if you get an order, or 2 orders, let's pack it up, you send it in, and then it got to the person before the expected delivery date, which is a good amount of time that Tcgplayer gives the seller to sell, and your feedback ratio is 80% or above. So that just means that you have to have 2 orders and couldn't have messed up on any of them. So it just had to have reached the person in good condition that you listed it as. So level 2 seller, something like about Tcgplayer is that you're not really restricted or limited as crazy until you reach even like the level 2 margin. Level 2 is a good level up from level 1, and then once you get to level 3, it's substantially better, and then once you get to level 4, it's just infinite at that point. So once we become a level 2 seller, we can list up to a total of 500 items, which is a big boost from 100. So again, same restrictions, 500. You can only have up to $5,000 worth of items on your shop, and the maximum price for any one item cannot exceed $1,000. And then for our requirements for level 3, we have to have at least 11 orders that have reached the expected delivery date. So if I remember correctly, this does include your 2 original ones that you sent with your level 1 as a level 1 seller. So you only have to do 9 more orders that have reached them by expected delivery date. And you have to have a feedback ratio of 85% or above. So literally it's just send out 9 more orders and make sure that you sent them out correctly as you listed them, and that you package them correctly. We'll be going over how to package cards and package your orders in the best way possible in another video. At level 3, you can list up to a total of 550,000 total items, and you can have up to $100,000 of items total value, and you can have 1 item that can't exceed $20,000. And there is no maximum daily inventory quantity entry limit for level 3 sellers. So this is really good. Obviously, if you're having 50,000 total items, that's a lot. I think the most that I've had is 4,000 to 5,000. So you might not reach that by that point, but 50,000 total items is a lot, and you keep putting on more cards as they sell. The requirements to level 4 seller is you have to have 51 orders. So I assume that's 40 more orders than you did to get to level 3. And you have to have a feedback ratio of 90% or above. So if we're sending out 51 total orders, then that means that I believe I have to do my math correctly. You have to have about 45, 46 of them all be positive feedback. So just sell your cards correctly, package them correctly, which we'll talk about in another video, and send them in the condition that you list them. And if you list them in near mint, but they're lightly played or moderately played, a lot of people might give you some negative feedback or some feedback that you don't want in your shop, especially as a newer seller. So once you reach level 4 seller, you're in the max. You have literally no restrictions, unlimited number of items available to list for sale. You have accessibility to new features such as importing and exporting your pricing data, and easily importing inventory by scanning cards using the Tcgplayer app, which I actually haven't used yet. So that actually might be something I should look into more. So that's it for the seller levels. Let's go ahead and go to our shipping options. So this is something I wish that I went into in the beginning of my selling career, is reviewing these prices. So we're gonna mainly look at the small right here, and we could look at the medium too. Large, extra large don't matter unless you're sending in like big boxes and big packages, probably like booster boxes or booster cases. But if we're selling singles and maybe some, I guess, like slightly bigger stuff, I don't know what the actual criteria is. It says it over here, but we want to make sure that we price our small to 99 cents. So we have singles, and then these will be like booster packs, figures, maybe medium board and card games, and these are like booster boxes, deck packs, booster cases. So we want to go ahead and price this at 99 cents. So what I had at first is I had $5 shipping. So what that meant is, let's say you have 100 cards listed as a one seller. This has happened to me and I wish it didn't. You have 100 items listed on your shop, and you have $5 shipping. And that means when you go to list your prices, it's going to be like, oh, because you have $5 shipping, you're going to have to like lower your value of the card. So I was like, okay, I guess this card is 2 cents, but because I have $5 shipping, it's $5.02. No, completely mistaken. That means that basically they just pay the $5 shipping fee to shop with you. And then since all of your cards are such low value, they'll just buy all of those cards. And then basically, essentially, instead of spending like, or putting down $5 cards, $4 cards, you put them all down for 2, 3, 5 cents. And essentially you just lowball yourself to infinity. So make sure the first thing you do when you open up your shop before you list anything is you set these settings to 99 cents. That way, when you list a card, it'll be the price plus $1 for that shipping, which is a fair price for the shipping. So now that we looked into shipping, let's go into our inventory to learn how to actually list cards. So here we have our product catalog tab and our inventory tab. And then as you can see here, I'm a level 4 seller with an inventory total of 637. And my inventory status is live. If you're selling cards, you always want to make sure that your inventory status is set as live. You hit edit and try to hit hide our inventory, but we don't want to do that, because then if we hide our inventory, that means people can't see our cards in the shop, and our inventory will still be there, but people will be able to see it. People won't be able to buy it. So as a seller, let's just make sure we always keep that live, unless like you're going on vacation, you're not gonna be able to sell. Then make sure you hide your inventory because you're not gonna be able to sell your cards. So let's try to actually add a card. So I specialize in selling One Piece cards, and if you're actually interested in learning how to play the One Piece card game, I'll leave a video in the description below that I made where I teach how to play the One Piece card game. So the card that we're adding to our inventory today is this Gear 5 Secret Rare Luffy, and I believe it's from OP05, but they might have a reprint label on it because it's from a premium booster set. So let's really look up the card. So the card name says monkey.d.luffy. So we're gonna look that up, monkey.d.luffy. And if you have a card that has a generic name like Michael, you might have to put what product line that you're putting the card from. So we're gonna put One Piece card game here, and we're gonna put Monkey D. Luffy. So now we have a bunch of Monkey D. Luffys from here, and we found our card. So Monkey D. Luffy, this is the same one that I have, and we're gonna go ahead and click it. So here it says lowest verify or lowest listing 505 for 0 shipping, last sold listing. This is important to look at. It's important to look at both of these. Don't look at much of the market price. We just want to look at these two specifically because we want to see what this card last sold, and we want to see what the listing is for this card right now. And as a new seller, we can always see that there's a low price, medium price, and the high price. Usually the high price is just too absurd, too crazy. So let's not look at this entirely. Let's go actually click on the card. And the reason why we're going to go click on the card is because of this specifically. So some people will list their cards as Japanese, and what that does is they're basically saying that, oh yeah, this card is only 350. So you're like, oh, this card's only 396. Let me list my card at 396 as well. And then you go and check, and then it's a Japanese card. And then you're like, oh, well, people aren't going to buy Japanese cards because you can't use Japanese cards to play. And maybe a collector wanting a Japanese card will get this copy. But as you can see here, we go from 396 or 350 to 505. So that was important to put. So maybe for our listing, we can try to match this lowest verified. So what does verified mean? So this gold star right here means gold star seller. And what that means, actually, we can click on an article to read into it. So gold star sellers are sellers in the Tcgplayer marketplace that have shown a high level of customer service and a solid record of successful transactions with at least a 99.5% and have had at least 100 transactions within the last 90 days are identified with a gold star icon. So these are very, very important to keep track of, because the difference between someone who has a gold star sell and someone who's not will be the difference in how you want to price your cards. So as a level 1 seller, we want to pay attention to how non-verified sellers are pricing and how verified sellers are pricing, and probably price around the non-verified and slightly lower than the verified, because people will always try to buy with verified if it's the lowest listing. So usually, like, if you're someone who's bought cards before, you know that when you're trying to price match, they'll go, oh, this card is $4 lowest listing verified, so I'll sell it to you for $3.50, $3. You go, okay, sure. So as a as an unverified seller, we would probably try to price match this or maybe even go a little bit lower than the verified sell. I say the biggest way that I climbed up the level ladder was I would just always price as the lowest, because my goal was to level up as a seller and to just get sales and to show Tcgplayer and show customers that will want to buy from my shop that I am a verified seller, that I'm trustworthy, and that I'll make sure that they get quality. So let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to go ahead and match the lowest listing. So this is a 505, and we're going to tackle that with a 504. So we always want to keep track of our shipping costs. So we know this is 99 cents. So we're not going to price at $5 because the shipping price here is included. So this would mean it would be 505, not plus 99 cents. So if we list ours at 505, then it'll be 505 plus 99 cents of shipping. So maybe if we did, let's say 405 for shipping, and then we're going to do, this is the price that we're listing the card at plus the shipping cost, and then total quantity, we're going to put 1 because we have 1 copy. We're going to save, and then they say, okay, your update has queued successfully. So it might not refresh immediately. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But if we go back and see that next in a bit, actually, yeah, you can see here it says 405 plus 127 shipping. I don't know why it says 127 shipping. So let's actually go ahead and fix that. So if we reduce our price by, I believe that's 28 cents. 28 cents. That would be, let me do math real quick, 373. So we've listed at 373. Let's go back. It might not refresh immediately. Let's go ahead and see if it does. It doesn't yet, but if once it refreshes, when it does, you could see that it'll probably be the lowest listing, because it'll be, how much is that? 373 plus 127 shipping, which goes for about well, actually, I think that means I just priced it at $5 exactly. So it'll be $5 exactly, which is 5 cents cheaper than the lowest listing. Let's go ahead and see if it already refreshed. Yep, already refreshed. So we can see that now I'm the lowest listing verified seller with 100% feedback rate. It shows how many sales I have, and you can see that I'm a gold star seller. So this means that this card will probably sell off the market immediately, because even though I don't include shipping, I'm the lowest verified listing, which is very, very important. So that is how you list cards on Tcgplayer, how you start your shop, how you adjust your shipping options, how you look at your seller levels and your seller dashboard to see your sales, your orders, any messages, any feedback you get, and your inventory total, your status, and your seller level. So I hope I covered everything that you guys were curious about. If there's anything I didn't answer, anything you want to know, leave a comment down below, and I'm gonna go ahead and make it a video on how to actually package your TCG orders. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.